arrested.
Okay.
Shoot, that time I was going arrested. We work all the time.
No.
Alright, this is my special occasion speech for Communications 101. Amos and Maxine DeGlandon gave birth to a baby girl on December 10, 1948 in Elwood, Indiana, and named her Judith Colleen DeGlandon, my mother. Judy is what they call her, and she struggled as a 16-year-old married female to Dell Edward Shepard in North Vernon, Indiana on August 28, 1965. And in March of 1966, she gave birth to a baby girl in Seymour, Indiana, who was I, Deniece Shepard Miller. She proceeded to complete high school, work as a waitress, raise me, and be a housewife. She always strived to be the best at everything she did, and she later gave birth 4 years to my brother, Jerry Ira Shepard, in 1970. She worked with the assistance of my father, and they raised the two of us to be respectful and bright children, even though they were still kids themselves. Judith Colleen Shepard later in life went back to college while raising 2 children and working a full-time job. She succeeded to accomplish her goals of becoming an LPN, something she had wanted since she was a small girl. I remember her graduation in Columbus, Indiana, which we all stood very proud and to be a part of her graduation. She had worked so hard to get where she was. She proceeded to work weekends and continued to raise both kids. A few years later, she attended Marion College in Indianapolis, Indiana, to become an RN. I remember her graduation there also, graduating with honors with A averages. I remember the long evenings at home in the living room where we would sit and help her study for her tests. I just remember how astonished I was that my mother was so smart and determined to reach her goals. Judy became what she wanted, and she still had time for 2 children, a husband, a job, and her house. Where did she get the energy? Because I never had that kind of energy as a child. I didn't know what I wanted out of life. All I knew that was I was going to graduate high school and move out. Typical teenager. Now don't get me wrong, we had our rough times between us, but we always overcame them by, I'm sorry or I love you. And of course it was usually me causing all the turmoil and was wrong 99.9% of the time. Dad used to say, she thinks she knows it all, and sometimes I still hear him saying those doting words today. I've gotten to grow up with my mom being only 17 years difference in age. Felt like at times like I had an older sister, because she knew what I was going through because it hadn't been very long before she had went through this same thing. I've seen my mom lose a father to suicide, a brother killed by a drunk driver, a brother who died of seizures, and a 15-year-old son killed in a motor vehicle accident. She has come out of all bad things positively. Not saying she didn't struggle, because her and my dad had a very hard time of dealing with my brother's death. Judy is a great mother, has been a great mother for 43 years, and a great wife for 44, and a grandmother to 2 children that are not blood relatives, that I brought into my home due to dysfunctional situations living with their parents. She is now a great-grandma of a beautiful 2-year-old boy, Caden, which she and my dad give their undenying love to. She is great with kids and gives all kids the attention she did the 2 of us when we were growing up. Now, if you have to ask me why my mother is my mentor, my best friend, my confidant, and in my eyes, the greatest mother of all time, then apparently you weren't listening to me throughout this speech. There are just some things my mother, Judy Shepard, there are some other things that my mother has accomplished in her life. These are just a few. Mom, this is for you. I love you with all my heart, and I wish there was more I could do for you, because you have done nothing but support me through my life and all my decisions, good or bad. And then you picked me up when I had fallen. Thanks for being my mother, for cleaning up my little scrapes and bumps as a child, for showing me how to be a productive adult in the community and provide for my family, for being the one who taught me how to be a nurse and become strong in the work environment. Thanks for giving me the best life I could ever have. You're a one-of-a-kind mother. Thank you.